Hello. Beep, 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 beep. Welcome to the Court of the EDI Jester. Hope you're all okay. Here we go. What have we got for you today? Well, first of all, become warrior teacher only a couple of days and get started. Ha ha. In fact, Tuesday. So, in 2 days, starting with September. If you want to join, still time. Go have a look at my profile. Come and be a warrior teacher and join the team. The 6:30 slot is the only one that's available now. So, yeah, come and give it a go. Be great to see you. If not, subscribe to my Substack or the usual. What have I got for you today? Well, we've got an interesting piece from The Telegraph from Tim Sigsworth, which was published yesterday. And this is something that's not going away, by the way. So we're going to have to deal with it at some point or another. And it's although it's not directly related to gender, it certainly is part of the problem that we have with this gender nonsense and with critical social justice as a whole. And the headline reads, Labour advisor claims failure to study anti-racism in schools helped fuel summer riots. Former history teacher says education system is broken and does not protect racial minority staff and students. Really? Right, okay. Well, let's have a look and see what they've got to say about that. A Labour education advisor claims that a failure to teach anti-racism in schools helped fuel the summer riots. Funmilola Stewart, a diversity and inclusion specialist, said last month that beliefs that anti-racism in schools was inappropriate had contributed to the widespread unrest. She is one of the 12 individuals appointed by Bridget Phillipson, the Education Secretary, to advise on an ongoing review of the school curriculum. So they've got this group of people together, 12 of them, who are going to decide what your school curriculum is, and one of them is a full dyed-in-the-wool critical social justice anti-racist activist, and there she is, right? Funmilola Stewart. Miss Stewart, a former history teacher, is trust lead for anti-racism and equality, diversity and inclusion at the Dixon's Academy Trust, which runs 16 academies and one sixth form college in Bradford, Leeds, Liverpool and Manchester. In August, she wrote on X that the unrest comes from a broken education system that deemed anti-racist education inappropriate. You think? Do you? Funmilola? Is that what you think? Is it? Right, okay. It's the exact opposite. It's the exact opposite. Now, what people don't seem to get about critical race theory and all the rubbish that it comes with it is that it's got at its core the same totalitarian and authoritarian ideas as the TRA, LGBTQ plus gender nonsense that we find ourselves dealing with on a daily basis. They are two cheeks of the same bum. Okay? So that's what the problem we've got here is. Now, if anybody knows anything about it at all, they will know that the likes of Robin DiAngelo, who was recently outed as a plagiarist in her PhD, not just a plagiarist of people generally, but she actually plagiarized people who were black. You couldn't make out these people are so corrupt. And then you think about somebody called Ibram X. Kendi. And if you look at the image on the screen, I'll pop it up there, right? There you go. That's Ibram X. Kendi, and that's Robin DiAngelo. And these people are the originators of the modern thinking of this about critical race theory, as opposed to the original 1970s, 80s versions, which came from legal academia and Kimberly Crenshaw, who was helping a single individual woman who was stuck in a legal system in which she was discriminated against on multiple points. It was perfectly valid then. Get it out of the legal side, see? It's got no validity at all. Whereas our friend here, Funmilola, seems to think it does. Miss Stewart said, it comes from people questioning why we make everything about race instead of questioning people's prejudices. So everybody's got prejudice. You have to understand that what critical race theory means is that you are racist if you are not anti-racist. It is a singularly racist thinking, critical race theory, of singularly racist thinking. So that if that's what they're going to put in the curriculum, everybody's racist. It's the whole original sin thing, sins of the father and all that. Now, we've then got comment from Dr. Alka Segal Cuthbert. Now, Alka's wonderful. And is the director of Don't Divide Us, which is worth having a look at if you've not looked yet, told The Telegraph that Miss Stewart's remarks stigmatised those concerned about the politicisation of schools. She said, the review's concern should be ensuring all pupils get access to curriculum based on the best formal knowledge to date, not promulgating the idea that schools are a substitute for politics. If Miss Stewart seriously thinks that the larger group of non-violent protesters were motivated by racism and could be educated out of their legitimate objections and concerns, she is at best patronising and very out of touch. Now, Alka's a decent person. I'm not a decent person. I think this woman is a dyed-in-the-wool activist, and I think she's dangerous. There you go. That's what I think. Now, I could be wrong. More than happy to be proved wrong as usual. But what you've got here is someone who believes that everybody is racist until they're taught not to be anti-racist. She is literally practicing critical race theory on your dime for this government. And that's the problem you've got, is teachers practicing critical race theory in schools. And parents need to be aware of this. Now, the truth of the matter is that all this gender crap is actually critical sex studies. It's the same thing, right? Go in, disrupt, cause as much trouble as possible, make people think they're racist, accuse everybody of racism, divide people into tribal groups. That's what it is. That's what these people are. Hard, left, identitarian lunatics. Alka continues. Much worse, by stigmatising a normal majority concern about the politicisation of schools, she ensures that the actual minority of far-right actual race bigots become an outlet for more people. So they're driving people to the right, is what Alka's saying. This is utterly politically irresponsible and a betrayal of a government's public duty to ensure our schools provide education, not indoctrination. What we're going to have to remember, and what we need to get parents to understand, is it's not that they're teaching people. There is this thing called critical race theory. It's insane outside of the legal world. Here's why it's insane outside of the legal world. They're not teaching that. Or they're not saying to the kids, you assess whether it's insane or not. They're saying, we will do everything through a critical race theory lens. We will do everything through a critical social justice lens. They want the children to become mini activists for their hard left causes. That's exactly what they're doing here. And there's 12 people on this damn thing. 12. This damn curriculum board. And the teachers are going to lap it up. That's the problem, is that the vast majority of teachers will lap it up because that's how they work. It's not that they're bad people or that they want to cause any sort of harm. They work with policy, teachers. They have to. In October 2020, Miss Stewart wrote in The Guardian that teaching of the Tudors should include black people who lived in England at the time. She added that fascinating and lucrative African kingdoms should be taught in schools and that students need to be exposed to the harrowing truths of slavery and the civil rights movement in the United States. But I don't disagree with that, right? But she doesn't mean exposed to. She doesn't mean exposed to. She means that the story that we tell of the history must be seen through a critical social justice lens. It's not that they want to include critical race theory as a subject to study. They want to include critical race theory as the lens that they use, along with all the other critical social justice lens, to teach your children in schools. That's what this is about. We're really going to have to alert parents. I can't see how anything other than alerting the parents and getting the parents to be aware of this, and parents getting up to speed on how they can keep this stuff out of their schools. Is there any other way that we can do this? If somebody knows, please let me know. So Labour has previously said, it continues, the curriculum review deliver a curriculum. The curriculum review will deliver a curriculum which is rich and broad, inclusive and innovative. Oh, really? Will it now? No, it won't. It will deliver a curriculum which is narrow and thin, exclusive, right, and regressive. That's what it will deliver. That's my prediction. That's my prediction. Others appointed to the board include Professor Becky Francis, its chairman, who in 2006 book criticised Sir Tony Blair's government for having an obsession with academic achievement. Really? These people don't understand that the school is a filtration system. They don't understand it. Right? It's a filtration system for our very best. She said, this Becky Francis, I'm excited to be working with this terrific group of professional experts. The review panel will draw on the experience and expertise of panel members with a detailed understanding of the curriculum in practice. Will you? Really? We have ensured that primary, secondary and post-16 sectors are represented to give due authority and respect to the expertise of educational professionals in shaping the curriculum and outcomes they deliver. So Ian Borkham, CBE, appointed observer of the review in September 2018, told parents to leave their mobile phones on the kitchen table at night to set an example for their children. In April 2014, he said more state schools should teach Latin, criticising scornful attitudes and prejudices towards it. The Department for Education was approached for comment. Miss Stewart was approached for comment, but hey, they didn't give any. Now, I don't necessarily disagree with him about Latin, mind. Ha ha! I don't. I'll just go, EST, mustisund. I don't disagree with him. Latin is, a really helpful thing to understand in terms of understanding language. But what this curriculum is going to be, what this curriculum will actually end up being, is seen through the lens of critical social justice. And at that point, ladies and gentlemen, your children's education is wrecked. So parents are going to have to do a number of things. First of all, they're going to have to undo the work the schools are doing with the kids to make sure the kids get a broad education and not a narrow one focused on lunatic belief systems. And then some of them are going to have to homeschool. It's the only way forward, because you can no longer trust your government to help with the education of your children if this comes to fruition, which it will. It's already started. You know, we can't stop it. So get your head around it. You're going to need to get your head around it, folks, because this is a big fight too. Yeah, shame, innit? But there you go. That's where we are. Listen, I'll see you later. Let me know what you think in the comments. Really, because I don't know where to go with this. I think it's really dangerous stuff. I'll see you later. Bye-bye.